Mm-hmm. Hi guys, so this is actually my second take now. I did already a 1 hour video about this full guide, 1.2M DPS on COC Ice Spear Cyclone. During my previous guide on Ice Nova, I failed. So some guys said people hate build guides like this because there are very less information and there's zero gameplay. Well, for this video, I already showed the result of what it can do. It's better than the Ice Nova build that I first did because I actually can beat endgame bosses with it, okay? And mapping is very good. Mapping is very good. So I did 1 hour video, but I'm going to make this video as fast as I can. Hopefully you can understand it. If you get confused, please leave a comment or visit me on Twitch. I will help you. I will help you, man. I will help you. Okay. So first up, please open my sorry. Assuming my POB is open, so first up is Ice Nova. My gems here, Ice Nova, Power Charge on critical support, and then Ice Bite. So Power Charge gives me Power Charge every time my Ice Nova crit. Okay, so my Ice Nova here has 50% of crit chance. Okay, 50%. So, but it's 100% guaranteed you will get Power Charge. As based on my experience, I'm 100% getting Power Charge all the time. So max tax is 3 Power Charge. Also Ice Bite support. Why? Because it gives you also Frenzy Charge. It's also 100% guaranteed while you're mapping the entire map. You have Frenzy Charges, also 3 stacks. So it gives you attack speed on the Cyclone and the Power Charge on crit, give you more critical. However, my amulet was different on the first guide I made, so I was having 94% critical strike chance on Cyclone. Okay, but I use this cheaper amulet, gives you 100. For new players, if you're looking always at this stat, please take note. You can select skills here. Okay, so you can see different stats here. So this is only default attack. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so if you're doing this build with me, click Cyclone. It's on the right side for me. Okay, so this is the main stats you want to upgrade to boost it. Okay, next is, so I have my body, my Cyclone, my Cason, my COC support, my increased critical damage support, increased critical damage support, greater multiple projectile support, and Ice Spear. So greater multiple projectiles, why? It gives Ice Spear more projectiles. So if it shoots 2, then it shoots 4 now. Okay, that's how it works. Now for the helmet here, I have Crown of Reward Eye. So please open my POB, okay, while I'm doing this, so you won't get confused so far. So Sniper's Mark and then Mark on Hit. What does Sniper's Mark does is you're going to mark a enemy, and since it's supported by Mark on Hit, you will mark either unique or rare, so the gold ones or the bosses. Okay, what this does is it splits the projectiles of the Ice Spear into the nearest hostile enemy. Okay, I will show you a quick mapping after this explanation. Then next here on my my gloves is Discipline, Empower, Eternal Blessing, and Haste. Now regarding this Eternal Blessing, you cannot have 2 buffs at once. Okay, so I will use Haste here. As you see, I place Haste here on my scroll mouse wheel. I press scroll mouse wheel. Now my Discipline is off, and then if I'm going to turn on Discipline again, now my Haste is off. So you don't want that. So I recommend you get the Vaal version of Haste. By then you can use the Vaal Haste without turning off your Discipline. Okay, that's 100%. Okay, next is the boots Vitality. Why Vitality? Because on Blood Magic here, you have following this build, you will get the Keystone Blood Magic. So here it is. Removes all mana, 10% more maximum life. Skill costs life instead of mana. Skill reserves life instead of mana. So what happens here is your mana is actually your life. Okay, so you need health regen to cast multiple spells. And since you are using Cyclone, which is a very high attack speed skill on physical, and then you're casting Ice Spear with lots of projectiles with Ice Nova on the Cospri with let me take note. Trigger a sacred spell on a melee critical strike. So every critical strike on your melee strike will not just cast Ice Spear but also Ice Nova. Okay, so that means you're casting multiple spells at once. Okay, Ice Spears with Ice Nova, so you need health regen. It's just like mana, you know, casting multiple spells you need more mana regen. It's just like that, and your life is your energy shield. Okay, so your energy shield comes from these three items, mainly your body armor, because plus 30 maximum energy shield per 100% life. Okay, that's why your shield will be 9.5k. Okay, your rings, I recommend some resistances on the rings, but I believe you can manage these rings. Okay, so just go in the trade market and buy stuffs there. I will make a different video for the trading part, okay, because it took me it took the video more longer, okay. And then Aegis Aurora here, I have a faster attack and then shield charge and then frost blink. So I have 2 movement. Okay, so faster attack support makes shield charge more faster. Okay, on action speed, because shield charge is an attack skill, therefore it's physical. As you see, physical. So it gives shield charge more faster animation, more faster movement speed, faster casting. And then frost blink, because as you move with the cyclone, you can frost blink like that. Not unlike the shield charge, your animation with cancel. Also in frost blink, the more you go, how do I explain it? So if you frost blink in the mobs with let's say 10 mobs, your cooldown will increase. So less mobs, less cooldown. More mobs, more cooldown recovery. So if you blink into like, let's say 20 mobs, your cooldown would be much more like instant cooldown. So that's how it works. If you blink into one enemy, you have a default cooldown like that. Okay, I hope I made that clear. If you got confused, leave a comment. And nothing special here on the gloves and helmet, just gives really energy shield. Next is the boots. So if you want to do this cyclone build without these boots, I don't know, because these boots give 50% default on movement speed. Okay, 150% of base its value. You cannot, but the other side is you cannot upgrade, you cannot buff your movement speed, so no buff. You remain on 50%. It affects also the cyclone. So cyclone, every stacks of it gives you slower, reduced movement speed. So every time you do cyclone, your movement speed is reduced. But in Stampede Assassin's Boots, it sustains on 50%. So your cyclone is much more faster when you are moving. Okay? But if you want to use another boot, it's okay. So generally on my stats, if you are confused how I got my resistances here, I use my resistances here. It came from the flask, the purity of elements here, and the ring here. So on my boots, my gems on boots are vitality, enlighten, hatred, and purity of elements. Okay, so how do I get this? Blue modifiers on the blue flask, specifically the blue flask. You can change the modifiers on the blue flask by doing this. So this is a blue flask, so it's a quick silver flask here. You just use a orb of alteration, see, and then if you get only one, or like one modifier, you can always use orb of augmentation to add another modifier. So maximum of 2. Okay, if you got like 4 modifiers, you cannot add more. Okay, it will say item has no space for mod. So that's how it works. That's how I got this plus 28 additional elemental resistances during effect on the Prism Flask that I have. Also next is the Ruby Flask, Coruscating Elixir. It gives you 50% fire resistance, 20% less fire damage. Also, for Blood Magic key node, as you see, you have low HP. Therefore, chaos damage can bypass the energy shield, like poison. Or I don't see any chaos spells. If you see any chaos spells like the purple explosion crystals, those are chaos elements. They can bypass your energy. So using this flask, you have a modifier like chaos damage taken does not bypass energy shield during effect. Okay, so you're completely safe using this. And I have a jewel here. It's called Brutal Restraint. And please read carefully that what you need on the description that will say denoted service of the number of the value of what you want, then Dekara in the Akara of Balbala. Always look out for Balbala. Always use the Balbala. There's 3 different types of these. Always look for Balbala if you're going to follow this build. Okay, so on the POB it will say I have the agnostic key node, but it's not. I actually have the traitor key node because the brutal restraint changes the key node. Okay, the traitor comes from the Balbala effect. Okay, so that's the key node right there. Also, I have the jewel, prismatic jewel, plus 20, the 4th modifier right there, plus 28% to critical strike multiplier while affected by precision. So that's why my cyclone has 277, 249. So sorry, oh my god, 449% critical strike multiplier chance. So if I use precision, I have 100 and then 447 critical strike chance multiplier. So mind that please. You can get a better one if you can find the better stat on a prismatic jewel. And what else? Okay, so power charge from critical strike on a Ice Nova here, and then Ice Bite gives you again frenzy and power charges, and then these 2 sniper's mark and mark on hit when you hit a unique or rare enemy and there's a sniper's mark logo on the enemy. That's a debuff. You can attack. You can do cyclone right there, and the enemies around it will die because your ice spear will split onto those hostile enemies, the closest ones, and then they will die. So make sure you always find the rare, a gold monster if you are farming on a large pack size of monsters. Okay, so if I miss something, comment down and leave a comment. I will help you. Okay, so overall this costs about 10 divs of build. Without this is 30 div. Okay, do not so why I chose this amulet instead of this one? Because this one gives only 8.3k energy shield, however this one gives 9.5 energy shield, so that's good. Also, I'm having 1.2 MDPS. I check it my POB, but I really don't know how my POB work. Maybe I'm missing something. Last time they said some guys said I can have more damage than the 1.1 DPS I explained, but I don't know how the POB works. So that's it. Did I miss something? I think not. Okay, again, I'm going to check the description. I'm going to upload boss fights right there using this build. And I'm doing a bit of mapping including this build. Okay, so I'm going to do mapping now. T16, let's find the T16 yellow map. Okay, let's make it let's make this make this yellow. It is yellow. Let's add some spice, Okay, 40% monster limited. Okay, -9 maximum player. Is it? I think it's okay, the -9. Okay, let's just running. I wanted to make a short video, so I won't take your guys' time. Okay, D16 map. As you see, level 83. Yellow map. Here are the upgraded essence mobs on the Atlas. Oh shit, I got it. Okay, no excuse there. I really die. I still die on 9.5 energy shield. However, I lag, so let's see. But look at the damage I dealt on the enemy. See, when there's no lag, I can easily defeat the enemy. Okay. So as I said, no excuse for the death earlier. I'm just normal mapping here. See the effect. See if you're going to be happy with this build. See if you're going to benefit from this build if you are an existing player. Okay. Then again, this is on standard mode. Okay. I'm not in Crucible, so maybe in Crucible League you will have more. This gear will cost you less on Crucible League because I'm in standard mode. So pardon me if I missed anything because I'm a new player. I'm about 40 plus days on the game, streaming, gaming, 10 hours a day, almost streaming every day. But if you think of something, please leave a comment. If you got confused, leave a comment. I will help. If you are a new player, I will make lots of guides. Don't worry. So see what I'm doing. I'm looking for the gold mob, and then the ice spears just split on the nearest hostile enemy. So this is how it maps. The endgame bosses that I did the other day on my stream will be on the description as well. If I said it earlier, I'm just going to say it again. So you guys won't forget if you find this mapping a bit of a bit of low satisfaction for you, that you think that if it's good, if you're evaluating if it's good for endgame bosses like World Eater of Worlds and the Shaper. So see, just find the gold mobs, and then everything will be okay. Everything will be fine. So don't worry about these lows here. So you see that there's no sniper's mark. I really can't explain why it is like that. There's a lot of times when I'm blight farming on blighted maps. That's the case always. See, I blink in. See my frost blink? I frost blink in on lots of mobs, and I got a high cooldown. See, this is the T16 boss, by the way.
I must have time to gather my will.
See how much damage I made. Okay, the splitting of the ice spears also affect the one you are targeting with the sniper's mark. Okay. So that's the mapping result. That's the result of all of this build. So as I said, the first and previous guide that build, they said that people hate this kind of videos because it has less information. However, I'm willing to help you. Just leave a comment, and there's zero gameplay, and then here's the gameplay. And endgame bosses gameplay, also Lair of the Hydra, which is very hard to beat. There's also a video of it on the description link, and the POB all together. Again, leave a comment if you need something. If you get confused, if I skip something, I will help. Good luck, Exiles. I hope you enjoy this build. Okay, so goodbye. Good luck, Exiles.